Hey everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. My name's Chris. How are y'all doing? I'm going to pull some orders that sold for me on eBay. I am a part-time reseller in the Pacific Northwest, and this channel is usually about me pulling orders that have sold for me. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, a little bit on Mercari and Depop, mostly on those two platforms. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 9 items going out today. A little bit of an update on a couple of issues that I've had with shipping some items, and let's talk about the reseller life in general. So first item that sold for me, it's basketball I picked up. This is kind of a new area that I want to get into because apparently there are some good basketballs for the resale market. So I picked this up for $4.99 at my thrift store. This is the Wilson Evolution. It's an indoor ball, and that's sold for $39, free shipping. I think this will fit in a 10 by 10 by 10 box. I was thinking about it. I probably could. I'm not going to, but I probably could just put this in a poly mailer because it's not gonna be damaged. But I'm not going to. But anyway, that was interesting. I had 2 different people message me. So I had it listed for $39, free shipping, and I had 2 different people message me. One offered, said, "Hey, 35." Well, it was literally just this message, 35 question mark. And I'm assuming it's because they were offering me $35, but I didn't have offers turned on. I priced it, what I thought, quite fairly, and I didn't respond to that. And then somebody else did the same thing, and I think they requested, or asked if I would take $36 for it. So I don't know why. They were just really wanting to save a couple of dollars, I guess. Ombre. Yeah, this one. Next item that sold, this little dilly here. This is a Lancome Ombre Eye color. There's 4 colors in there. I picked this up at an estate sale for $2.50. And took a while to sell, but it sold for $18.90 free shipping. It's just some new makeup. I tried to get it open, but for the life of me, I cannot get it open. So we'll just leave it at that. But $18.90 free shipping. I bought this a long time ago. I had a couple of items. So the basketball sold in about 2 weeks. The makeup took many months, probably 4+ months. And this item was in my sale for a long time, so I know it has been listed for at least 6 months. It's this little Pokemon figure. So I don't know exactly how this works. It's probably not the best idea in the world. So that is a skeleton Charmander. I got this in some sort of, I bought 3. I was on Whatnot, and I bought 3 gaming systems, none of which I've listed, none of which I've even really taken out of the package. This was months and months and months ago. I think one was a Nintendo, one was a Wii, and another was probably a PS3. But I think he ended up giving this away to a buyer, the person on Whatnot. This is 3D printed, and that's what we're in a little bit of a gray area. So it's not a licensed Pokemon item. But I just thought, it looks cool. I got it for free, so might as well just try and list it on eBay. And it sold eventually for $19.95 plus shipping. So that's nice because I spent about $50 on each of the systems that are just sitting, collecting dust. Not really into buying gaming systems. Well, let me put it this way. I'm into buying gaming systems. I'm not really into listing gaming systems. So I think I have I have 8 of them that I have, none listed. So my plan is eventually I'm going to have a TV, an older CRT TV. Well, actually, I have one. It's this one right here. I actually bought this to sell, but then I thought, that'd be a good CRT TV to have for testing things. It's a Disney Princess TV from early 2000s. I bought it for $10. It's actually worth like 100. I don't really want to deal with shipping it. It's a little too big. Anyway, eventually I'm going to get that hooked up. I want to have a little, like a TV stand somewhere over here. Probably where that blue thing is, right in this section, or maybe right over here. I want to have a TV stand, a chair. I want to put my TV there and have some gaming, or just some setup to hook up gaming systems, test some games, and maybe play them in the meantime. But I have too much stuff in the way, so I haven't done it yet. One of my failings. Let's get into the topic, the shipping issues, shipping woes that I'm having. Two separate issues, one of which is, I don't know how it's going to turn out. Well, neither of which I know how to turn out. But the first one is I had an item, Bose Wave Radio CD player, 4 parts only. When I shipped it, I put it in a nice big box, put the big thick bubble wrap around it, put some good, shipping paper around the side, shipped it off. Well, it arrived pretty heavily damaged. It was one corner, the plastic piece had been chipped off, and there's a big giant crack in the side of it. So basically, I think this person was buying it to fix it and then resell it themselves. They bought it from me for $60. The CD was skipping on it, so if they were able to fix that, then they could probably turn around and resell it for $200 to $250. Well, now that the plastic casing outside is all broken, I highly doubt that they can resell it at that point. So they opened up a case for item damaged, and had a couple of days to respond. I did reach out to them and ask them to send me some photos, because I'm going to put in an insurance claim with USPS, because I sent it Ground Advantage. And because I had like 3 or 4 days to respond to the case that was opened, I messaged them. Basically, my plan was I was going to kind of hold their refund hostage until they sent me these photos. There was only a certain time period where I was just going to have to give them a refund, even if they didn't supply the photos. But it's kind of an interesting point. I don't know how many of you have submitted claims to USPS, but they do want you to send quite a few photos of the item as you're submitting a claim, not of the item before it was broken, but after. So they want pictures of the packaging, they want pictures of the damage, they want pictures of the label, they want all these items to kind of show proof that it showed up damaged. But as an eBay seller, you are beholden to the whims of the buyer. Are they going to be willing to do this work for you? And there's no guarantee that they will, and there's frankly no real reason that they have to. Because no matter what, they're going to get a refund, whether it's you generate it yourself, or worst case scenario from a seller's perspective, the eBay will just give them a refund and then give you a strike on your record because you didn't respond to a case in time before it closed. This is one area where I'll say that Poshmark does seem to have an advantage. Poshmark, before they will give a refund, will reach out to the buyer and request these items, these pictures from the buyer themselves. So Poshmark support does it, not the seller. So there, I think, carries more weight to it when Poshmark support does it rather than just me as a Poshmark seller. So I think Poshmark definitely has the advantage in this arena. But nonetheless, come to find out, I think because this person was an eBay seller themselves, or maybe they do reselling, they've actually had experience with this very issue. Dog is randomly hanging out on the deck. So the buyer messaged me and gave me all sorts of the photos that I'd asked. They were very nice about it. I immediately turned around and gave them a refund. Full refund, of course. So I'm out $80 because it was $60 plus $20 for shipping. I mean, if you think about it, I'm out $80 plus I think it was $18 it cost me to ship the item. So right now I'm out $98. And best case, plus the cost of the item itself, which was $10, so $108. No, that's wrong. I'm out. I mean, the $60 or the $80 I was given by the buyer. So I gave the $80 back. So now I'm just down $10 and then down the $18. So I'm down $28. $10 for what it cost me to buy the item, $18 for what it cost me to ship them. I've submitted a USPS claim for $60, which was the value of the item. So I'm hopefully going to get $60 from the post office, but we'll see, fingers crossed. The buyer clearly has had experience with this. They messaged me and said, what they anticipate the next step will be is that the post office is going to contact the buyer, the buyer, and have them come into the post office with the item to be inspected, which I think is just ridiculous. She had said, they will do. So she's a very, very nice buyer. I have nothing but good things to say about the buyer. So she offered or said that they will go into the local post office if they require it. But then she also said, don't expect this to be a positive case for you. They will probably deny the claim, and she said that's why they ship everything UPS, because UPS won't deny claims like this. I have had one item that I can remember getting an insurance claim for that I sent via USPS, but I used the whatever the insurance is that you used to have to buy when you would ship things first class before Ground Advantage came with $100. It's called Ship something. I can't remember what it is, but that's the insurance I used. And they gave me my money. They approved my claim and paid me out. But that was not the USPS specific insurance. So I personally haven't had any luck or I haven't had any experience submitting a claim through the post office themselves. So we will see how this turns out. I will keep you up to date on that as the process moves along. I just submitted the claim today, so it's just starting now, and we will see. The next issue that I had is actually around this pair of shoes here. This is an old vintage pair of Nike Air Max. Nike Air Max LTD2 3. So it's like the second model of LTD2. Or it's the second model of LTD, but it's the third version of that model. I don't know. Anyway, that's what it looks like there. I paid $15. Might have been $7.50, but it was probably $15 for these. And they sold relatively quickly for $59.96. Now, the buyer reached out to me. Here's the timing of the event. So they bought these on Friday, and I don't know exactly when during the day, but I will rarely get an order on a business day and then ship it that same day. I don't ever ship anything on the weekends unless somebody is super, super, super nice, and it hasn't happened yet, but I will not ship on the weekends because I have to drive quite a ways to my post office to drop it off because the one close to me isn't open on Saturdays. The one that is open is only open from, 9 to noon. It's just not something I do, and eBay doesn't expect you to do it on the weekends. And then Monday was Martin Luther King Day, so that was a mail holiday. So I have 2 business day handling turned on. So today is Wednesday, the 22nd, and this is the last day that I have to ship the item. I did wait until the last possible day to ship it, but I'm still within my handling time. I'm not getting any black marks on my record for it. Well, the buyer yesterday emailed me, or actually they requested to cancel the order, saying that they needed the item by Friday, and I hadn't even shipped it yet. So it was just, they were gobsmacked that I hadn't shipped the item. And I do kind of understand where they're coming from. This was a bit of a unique circumstance, in just in terms of the holiday, and then they ordered it on a Friday, so it was over the weekend, it was over the holiday, so it has been 5 days since they ordered the item. But they live in, I think, New Jersey. They live across the country. If they needed the item by a certain day, number one, they could have told me that, but they didn't. And number two, it's going to have to be shipped across the country. I don't think there is a possibility, even if I had shipped it on Friday, I don't think there's a possibility it would have gotten there by this coming Friday. I really don't. So no matter what, I don't think they were going to get this item by Friday. So because of that, I declined their cancellation. I'm going to ship the item, and if they want to return it once it gets to them, they can. I'm assuming it's probably for a birthday present or a present of some sort, because that's why they needed it by a certain time. I don't know. Am I being petty? I get it, and it's possible that I could get a negative review or negative feedback from this. I don't think it's deserved. I shipped within my allotted shipping time frame. The only thing I did was not accept their cancellation, but whatever. I did have this happen to me one time as an eBay buyer relatively recently. I wanted to buy a book to bring with me before my trip to Hawaii. And it was a relatively uncommon book, so it wasn't like there were a huge number of sellers to choose from. So I found the book, and I didn't pay any attention to anything other than that the price and that it was offered for sale. And I bought it, and over a week passed, and the item still hadn't shipped. So I then went and tried to cancel the order myself, and the seller declined my cancellation. I then kind of looked at the seller feedback, and they are notorious for shipping things well after you purchase the item. They only sell books, but sometimes people were saying it was more than 2 weeks and they hadn't had the item shipped. And I realized, I looked into it more, and it's just because they have their business handling time probably set to 10 days. They have a very long handling time turned on just to give them flexibility. And the only way you can really notice this as a buyer is it'll tell you when the item can be expected. Order expected between this date and this date. And when I went to look at their other listings, sure enough, the time frame was several weeks in the future that I would have expected this book or a book from them. So in many ways, I was kind of annoyed. I was kind of frustrated. I was ready to leave them negative feedback for that issue. But the more I thought about it, and the fact that I am an eBay seller is the primary reason why I didn't. They did nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong. So they have a long handling time set, and it is up to us as buyers to pay attention to that. It's very clearly, I think, in red, lettering on each order or each item for sale, when you can expect it to arrive. So next item that sold, I finally sold a pair of Ultras. I have recently purchased a lot of these. Probably 8 of them, and I think I have 5 or so of them listed. This is the first one that sold. Bought this for $7.99. This is a pair of Ultra Escalante 4s, and those sold for $39.99 plus shipping. This bright yellow color. So that was good. Not the best colorway, but still a nice quick sale. A while back, I had showed you that I purchased these. By the way, comment below. What would you do in this situation with the person that requested to cancel their order? Would you have canceled it? Would you expect to get negative feedback if you were me in the future? Let me know what you would have done. So anyway, as I mentioned, I talked about this item a few weeks back when I sourced it. I was super excited. These were $4.99 or $5.99, $5 or $6. These are some STX Cell 5 lacrosse gloves. And these are like $100 new. When I looked at them in the bag that they came in, they looked like they were in really good condition. They weren't. They weren't at all. They have big holes in the, I'll show it to you right here. So this is something to keep an eye out if you see lacrosse gloves for sale. Right there. See that big giant hole? Big hole in the thumb. Little holes in the fingers there, right on the tips. And on top of that, any sort of used glove, boxing gloves, lacrosse gloves, hockey gloves, they stink. They stink so bad. So I ended up, I put baking soda inside these for like 4 days. Sprayed a whole bunch of deodorizer. They still stink. But anyway, long story long, because I really have gone into a lot of info about that. They did sell for $20. So I'm going to offer for $20. I made sure to highlight that they were ripped. I pointed out the rips and also that they had an odor to them. I said that, these are good backup gloves, and they are. They are good backup gloves if your normal pair, you can't find them or whatever, or you just want to wear those in the rain, or I don't know, whatever reason. They're good backup pair of gloves. I don't think they would be the best primary pair of gloves for a lacrosse player. And I still made an okay profit. I thought I was going to sell them for 50, but I will take 20 rather than 0. Sold this Coach purse. This is a somewhat vintage purse in okay condition. A little bit of browning, not browning, brown spots. Like, I don't know if you can see it on there. Right in the middle there, there's like one spot in the middle. Then there's like that black spot in the corner, but no rips. Maybe that black spot's supposed to be there. Picked that up for $9, $8.91 on Whatnot, and that sold very quickly for $25 plus shipping. So that is 2 successful Whatnot sourcing purchases. Rare though. Still not recommending it at all. I miss more than I hit. These took forever to sell. I still don't understand why. I mean, they're not in pristine condition. They're not bad at all. I have been told by one of my other very favorite YouTubers, just by his videos, he mentions that these are very quick sellers, but maybe it's just the brand wasn't the best. There's a pair of La Sportiva climbing shoes. For these, you want to look at condition like the toes. A lot of time the toes can wear out. They have big rips or big gaps in them, cuts in them, whatever. Pick these up for $2 at a yard sale over the summer. And anyway, they finally sold for $34.95 plus shipping. So it was a good sale. Just took about 5 months longer than I thought it was going to take. These are, again, La Sportiva, the Nago version. Nago X Edge. La Sportiva. Anyway, I don't know a lot about climbing shoes. I think there might be better brands. Last item of the day, I just picked this up a week or 2 ago. Just listed it a couple of days ago. It was a find at my local thrift store. They actually do still have some good stuff every now and then. So this is a softball bat, fast pitch softball bat, DeMarini. This is the CF8 Insane End Load. It's a drop 10, which I think is a relatively common softball size. Just means that the weight of the bat is 10 ounces less than the length of the bat. So this is a 33-inch bat, so it weighs 23 ounces. Just important to put that in your title if you do source bats and you're listing them. That's an important piece for people to important piece of information for people to put in their listing so the buyer knows what they're buying. The grip on this was also in very good condition. It has been re-gripped, but they did a good job on it. And so I bought this for $2.99, and it sold in about 3 days for $50 plus shipping. All the other DeMarini Insane End Load CF8 bats that were listed were like 90 or $100. The condition on this, so what you're looking for with the bat is you want to kind of like try and swing it a little bit because these crack a lot of times. So you're looking for cracks in the bat itself. There will be potentially cracks. When you shake it, you want to listen for anything rattling in there. Grips are all the time not good. So if you can find one with a good grip, you're already at a huge advantage. I mean, it's very common for players to re-grip their bat, so it's not the end of the world. If it's a good bat and that doesn't have a good grip, it's still worth $5. You can sell it for 35 or more. Anyway, all those things went into this, so I didn't even have for whatever reason, my internet wasn't working. I think the cell towers were down that day, but I just figured for $3, DeMarini is a really good company when it comes to bats. They're not all going to be winners, but this one turned out to be a good one overall. So very pleased with that. So in general, a decent sales day. You know, we have $60 shoes, $50 bats, $35 shoes, $40 shoes, $40 basketball, $20 for some the Pokemon and the makeup, and $20 for the gloves. So a lot of good sales, but some of these are older sales. Like I said, the shoes they were sold on Friday. Right now, sales are not very plentiful. I'll put it that way. I hope that's not the case for you. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you did like it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Good luck with all those reselling ventures that you're having out there. We'll catch you on the next video. So take care. Bye-bye.